What's going on, YouTube? You know who it is, Trader Nine here. We back at it again with another video. Today we're gonna be making a reaction video. Now, this video is a little different. It's basically called How to Easily Enter Flow State Anytime You Want. Now, what is flow state? Flow state is basically where you become the moment, like Michael Jordan in the flu game, or Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. It's where you are purposely become the moment, become the history making. You enter a history making state where everything just flows, everything just goes, nothing feels inconsistent, everything feels like it's just meant to be. Flow state is a state of mind that just puts you in a mode of, okay, it's just all gas, no brakes. We just going, 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 and it's always working in your favor. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into the video.
Think this magical thing called flow state, that feeling where you're unstoppable, laser focused, and time disappears, is reserved for professional athletes, world-class musicians, or genius inventors. But that belief is dead wrong. Flow state isn't magic. It's not something that only the elite can access. In fact, science shows it's simply the result of specific, repeatable conditions, which means if you understand the formula, you can trigger flow anytime you want. Yes, you watching this video can get into the zone as easily as an Olympic sprinter or a top chess player. Let me show you how. Flow is not random. It's been studied for decades. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent his career researching what he called optimal experience. And what he found is that flow consistently appears when certain conditions are met. Let me give you a picture. Imagine you're playing piano. If the piece is way too easy, you get bored and check out. If the piece is insanely hard, you get frustrated and quit. But when the music is just challenging enough to stretch you, but still within your skill level, you become completely absorbed. That's flow. Another example.
So it's like it's the boundary between something that's too hard and too easy, where it's stretching you enough to be hard, but it's also within your skills. So it basically puts you in a state of mind where it's just you become unstoppable, where your skill is also playing a part in your mind learning new things, or your mind being pushed past its limits, but still being able to play within its skill. That's like Michael Jordan be going probably be when he's going against a tough team, but he still is very skillful. He's gonna go enter flow state where it becomes a moment of him being unstoppable, where he doesn't care about how hard the team is, just how well can he do.
Video games. Ever wondered why games are so addictive? They're literally designed to keep you in flow. The levels get gradually harder as your skills improve. Clear goals, instant feedback, the right level of challenge. That's the flow formula in action. So the myth is, flow is mystical, rare, and reserved for the gifted. The truth is, flow is systematic, repeatable, and available to anyone who knows the formula. But knowing this truth is only the beginning. Let's talk about the actual ingredients. There are 5 essential ingredients. Miss one, and you'll probably miss flow. Nail them all, and flow practically takes care
Yo,
of
the way he
itself.
edited this
Ingredient
video
1,
is
clear,
amazing.
actionable goals. Your brain hates vagueness. Saying, I'm going to work on my project is useless, but saying, I'm going to write 200 words of my introduction paragraph is crystal clear. Flow requires focus, and focus requires clarity. Pro tip, before every work session, write down a single measurable goal on a sticky note and keep it in sight. But even the clearest goals are worthless if the task itself doesn't push you into that sweet spot. Ingredient 2, the challenge skill balance. This is the heart of flow. If something is too easy, you feel bored. If it's too hard, you feel anxious. But in that sweet spot, just hard enough to stretch you without breaking you, you enter flow. Ask yourself, does this task feel like a 7 out of 10 in difficulty? That's where you want to be. But here's the catch. Having the right challenge still won't matter if you keep getting yanked out of focus every 5 minutes. Ingredient 3, eliminate distractions. Flow is fragile. A single notification can pull you out, and it can take 20 minutes to get back in. Phones off, tabs closed, noise minimized. Think of it like creating a force field around your attention. Ingredient 4, ritual and environment. Your brain loves cues. That's why musicians have pre-show rituals and athletes have warm-ups. You need your own flow ritual. Maybe it's making a cup of coffee, putting on the same playlist, or lighting a candle. When you do it consistently, your brain learns, oh, this is focus time. Ingredient 5, intrinsic motivation. Flow thrives on meaning. If you're doing something only because your boss told you to, it's harder to get in the zone. But if you connect it to your own growth, curiosity, or future, you'll find flow easier. Put all 5 together, and you've built the foundation for flow. But here's the thing, knowing the ingredients is like having a map without a compass. You've got the terrain, but without direction, you'll still get lost. And that's exactly what we'll cover next. All right, let's get practical. Here's a step-by-step ritual you can use to enter flow anytime. Think of it like your personal launch sequence. Step 1, decide what you're doing. Set one clear goal. Clear your desk, silence your phone, close extra tabs. Pick a time block, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes. Step 2, now create a ritual.
Time blocking really helps because of the fact that you're able to know and have clear objective and know in that time you're doing only work, and you understand when that time is done you can rest. But also creating a ritual sounds crazy, but like something that you do before you understand that you're about to go into a work flow state.
That signals the start. Maybe it's 3 deep breaths. Maybe it's opening your notebook and writing the date. Maybe it's playing a specific song. The ritual itself doesn't matter. It's the consistency. Over time, your brain will learn, when I do this, focus begins. Step 3, don't wait for motivation. Don't wait to feel ready. Just do the tiniest action. Write one sentence.
Motivation cannot carry you for the rest of your life. It's gonna have to be consistency, because motivation can only bring you as far as you can feel. It's motivation brings you as far as your emotions will allow, but not as far as your mind or your ambitions will take you. So the only thing that can take you there is discipline and consistency, because there are gonna be days when you see no results, but you still gonna have to keep going.
Solve one problem. Draw one line. The brain loves momentum, and starting small removes resistance. Step 4. Once you're in, commit to single tasking. No switching, no checking. Stay with the task, even if it feels clumsy at first. Flow usually shows up after 10 to 15 minutes, not instantly. But if you stick with it, it will come. Step 5. Don't burn out. Stop while you still have energy. A pro trick, leave a sentence unfinished or a problem half done. That way, when you come back, your brain instantly re-enters flow by picking up the thread. This ritual is simple, but it's powerful. And if you repeat it enough, your brain will start slipping into flow almost automatically. What you do after flow matters just as much as what you do during it. So let's talk about the one ingredient almost nobody thinks about: recovery. Most people think the secret to more flow is to just push harder, grind longer, and stay locked in. But flow doesn't work like that. Flow is a peak state, and like any peak, it requires valleys. The science is clear. Your brain can't sprint forever. Neurochemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins flood your system when you're in flow. That's what makes it feel so amazing. But those chemicals don't stay high indefinitely. They need time to replenish. If you keep pushing without recovery, you don't just stall, you crash. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Recovery isn't the enemy of flow, it's the fuel for it. Quality sleep is where your brain resets and builds the neural pathways that make flow easier next time. Movement, whether it's a workout, a walk, or even stretching, flushes stress and primes your nervous system for focus. Even boredom, those quiet moments where nothing is happening, actually recharge your attention span. That's why the best ideas often hit you in the shower, on a run, or right before sleep. Think of recovery as charging the battery that powers your deepest focus. Skip it, and you'll burn out before you ever get into the zone. But honor it. Build in cycles of rest, reflection, and renewal, and flow becomes easier, faster, and more sustainable. Over the long run, the people who master recovery aren't the ones who work the hardest in one sprint. They're the ones who stay in the game long enough to experience flow again and again. Now, let me show you how to make flow
Yeah,
state part of
recovery
your
is,
life.
people don't
To
understand,
this point,
your brain is a muscle, and it actually works 10 times harder than any of your body parts. That's why when you sleep, you have to sleep for 8 hours. When you work out, you can recover in a couple hours, couple minutes, and still get back on it. But your brain, the longer and longer your brain goes without rest or recovery or just even hydration, it will slowly deteriorate. And when it deteriorates, you can get stuff like hallucinations, delusions, uh, and just negative things that will start to happen. Even when your brain is deteriorated, it will start to fuck up things in your body. Like, people don't understand, your brain controls 99% of your whole body. So the more you don't rest, you don't let your brain recover, the more it would destroy your body also.
been talking about flow as a tool, a way to get more done, stay focused, and feel better while working. But the truth is, flow can do more than help you finish a project. It can completely transform your life. Think about it. Most people drift through their days in distraction mode, checking their phone, half working, half resting, never fully present. Days blur into weeks, and nothing truly meaningful gets built. But when you start stacking flow sessions, something different happens. Your days stop feeling scattered. You start measuring time not in hours wasted, but in moments of deep immersion. Instead of life happening to you, you're living inside it fully. Flow rewires your brain. Each time you enter it, you train your attention to prefer depth over distraction. Your confidence grows because you're constantly proving to yourself that you can handle challenge, learn faster, and push through resistance. And your sense of meaning expands because flow connects you with the joy of growth. You stop just doing tasks and start experiencing life as a series of challenges that reveal your best self. And here's where it gets powerful. Flow isn't limited to work. You can bring it into fitness, relationships, creativity, even rest. Imagine workouts where time disappears and progress accelerates. Conversations where you're so present that the other person feels truly seen. Creative sessions where ideas pour out faster than you can capture them. Even walks, cooking, or hobbies can become flow experiences when you set the right conditions. So yes, flow makes you more productive, but more importantly, it makes life richer, fuller, and more alive. Because in the end, the goal isn't just to get into flow more often. The goal is to build a life where flow is the default, not the exception. All right, let's recap. Flow isn't random. It's not mystical. It's systematic. The formula is simple. Clear goal, right
I
challenge.
just want to say this is a great video. Whoever edited this, like, it continues to just catch attention.
No distractions. Consistent ritual. Protect it once you're in it. Follow this and you can enter flow anytime you want. Imagine how much faster you could learn, how much more you could create, how much lighter your work would feel if focus wasn't a fight, but a natural state you could step into whenever you chose. But here's the thing. Flow only works if you can actually focus long enough to get into it. And that's where most people struggle. That's why I made another video called The Secret Behind the Fastest Way to Focus. That's
With that being said, I hope y'all liked the video. This video is basically about how to enter flow state instantly and immediately. If y'all like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the flip.